Come on, Noddies, out of the way. Run, little hoagies. Hey! What would we do without dogs, eh? Where's now? Come on, girls. Oh, maybe. It's like the third time they've been through that gateway in the last few weeks. G'day, fellas. The old lake's right up, guys. There we go, they're away. Anyway, guys, g'day and welcome back to the channel. Bit of pressure on at the moment. I've got a mate's stags do. Would you be quiet? Go away. We're not worried about you right now. What are you gonna do, Steel? Okay, Steel. Excuse the mess there. There we go. Oh, not through the puddle. Hopefully not too near to that. So anyway, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by those cattle, pressure's on at the moment. Today is Tuesday the 12th of November. By about 4 or 5 PM on the night of the 15th I have to be in Picton, which is at the top of the South Island. I'm at the bottom. Coming home on Sunday, should really be Monday, but we're just under the pump a bit at the moment, which is the 17th, and by the 20th the Swedes are supposed to go in. Still got that paddock to plough. I know I will be getting rid of that in the next 48 hours. Yeah, I've got 11 hectares ploughed, and I've got 7 of that rolled. Just push the furrows back down. Yeah, we're going to get that one ploughed today, later on. But first, these girls have got to go in because tomorrow they are getting shorn. Crutched them up, tidied their bums up last week for the shearers. 95 to 99% have stayed properly clean. There's a wee bit of mess on some of them, but that's all right. But anyway, we will wait for the school bus to go that way and then that way, and then we'll send our hoggets that way. I've also got a load of lime coming at 9 o'clock, and it's currently 20 past 8. So, but that's all set up. He can just go dump it over there, and if we don't catch him, we don't catch him. There we go. Come on, girls. You know where you're going. I know you don't want to go there, but you know where to go. And please turn left out the gate. Oh, look at that. Well behaved little hoggets. Go left, please go left. I don't think they're going to go left. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that was good, whatever spooked them there. Next door's cows. They got a habit of going out this gate and going right. There we go, they're going both ways, but I think they'll go left. Because that road sign right there is just in a really bad spot. We used to run lambs out here a lot, and then we'd bring them back in, you know, like 3 weeks after weaning. Don't shut that gate. And it was just an absolute nightmare to get them out the gate, and then once you got them out the gate, they'd all go the wrong way up the road and they wouldn't run past that sign. I've asked the council to move it, but I've had no comeback. But that's all right for now. It's working quite well, and considering 80% of this block out here is going to be in Swedes this summer, I think you'll find that that bridge up there will be a far better option for getting lambs out. Go back up, because there's no crop up there this year, and it's a whole lot easier up the roadside. Oh, they're even crossing the bridge with no trouble. I can claim credit for training these sheep really well, eh? Like, people will believe that, won't they? And they're even going straight into the yards without any trouble. Wow. In. That was easy. Might be a little bit of moisture on a couple of bellies there from a few puddles, but they should be pretty dry. They're going to stay there till, now it's 8:35 now, till 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. That pellet of nuts in there, we're going to get rid of that in about 10 minutes. Because I do suspect those hoggets will break into that, and A, they're for the calves, I don't want to waste them. B, my sheep aren't supposed to eat grain. C, that won't help them empty out for the shearers. And D, they could get acidosis and die. So we'll get rid of them. Perfect timing, the lime's arrived. There we go. Too easy. Righto guys, we are into it. We're doing some naughty stuff here. I'll go over that a little bit later, but it'll make sense. Yeah, it's up on a bit of a hillside. To the side, definitely not downhill. Do a couple of runs, I'll show you 3 different points of perspective. You ready? Hold on. Just taking it nice and easy going down the hill. Because if we go fast, we'll wind up actually dragging soil down with us, and we don't want to do that. There's one run. Show you how much handwork's involved in just these little wee short runs. We won't have to do this later on, thankfully, but for this one here we do. So we get down and then we drop her in the ground, and then we grab a hold of this one. We have to control the depth the whole way down. What happens at the bottom here is we've got to dive her way down in. We have the front one way too deep and lift it out, and then the back one still rides out. So yeah, this is a little bit naughty. Sort of breaking some rules. I don't know if it's quite law yet or not, but what we're doing is there's a river just there. That's another bit that we're doing. Now this bit here, straight above the river, I can legally do that. That's bang on 20 degrees, and I've just got to leave a 10 metre buffer at the bottom. But I don't want to do that because I get to the bottom and it's my 10 metres to the river. And to me, that's, you know, if you want to protect waterways, working the steep ground right beside the river is probably one of the higher risk points. Right here is probably okay. There's a strip that goes along to about there. That, I mean, that's probably beyond 20 to be fair, but it's probably more like 25. It's not over 25. It's kind of hard to measure, but yeah. My take on it is I'm going to leave that bit that I could do, because that's quite close, and I'm going to do this bit, and we're going to go to about there. Oh, where's the end of my scratch marks down there? We might come back a bit. You can sort of see a line, I don't know where my finger's pointing here, up the hill. We're going to leave sort of 50-60 metres of that undone, because to me that is what we should be doing. Now onto the plough. That is essentially the front pivot point of the plough, the tractor axle. It does pivot in there as well, but when we're cruising along, it's on that one, because that's where it's going up and down. That's the back. Let's have a go. Foot there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Call it 7.5 metres. As we come down here, now that is a depth wheel, so that's controlling the depth. That's on that stopper there. Just there, I put that shim in because I actually needed half a hole one day. Yeah, so that, as we're coming down, I dive the front of the plough down in, but then I get to the scratch mark here, and I'm going to lift it out, and as I do, because the wheel is so far behind that distance there, it actually lifts it out of the ground. So this is a wee bit ugly, and it will be the whole way along. It's easier to get right when you're going in than it is coming out, but ultimately that's just the way it is. I could have put my scratch mark there, and maybe I should have, but you get worried. We don't like tipping soil downhill. There's the odd headland in places that we will do that, but we do our best to tip it sideways or uphill. Uphill's great, but with uphill, yeah, there's only so far you can go. And obviously you don't want to be doing a whole lot of dry running. You don't want to be going down and then driving back empty. If you're going to be doing that, you buy a reversible. The reversibles aren't great on hills because this style, this is what we call a semi-mount. So rear wheel, and then you just work off the rear linkage just here. So you don't use the top link, you just use those two, and obviously it can can pivot in those. There's no pivot that way. The tractor controls that, so that's the mounted bit, but that way is just trailed, which is why we call it a semi-mount. But yeah, can't remember what I was saying now, guys. Oh well, we'll go and do some more. I'm going to get this finished, and then I'll catch up with you guys when we start doing the better stuff. I've got my drone going too, so we'll get that up in the air. Righto guys, I've got my radio shows out of the road. Not on them today, just listening to them, but yeah, going to show you a bit more about what we're doing. There we go, we've got a bit done. We have got 1.66 hectares done. It's taken us a while, but that's alright. Yeah, headland up there's looking a bit rough. All of my headlands look a bit rough. All of it, but the main stuff in the middle looks good, that's alright. I've never said I'm a good ploughman. Just said I'm reasonably good at turning hills over. So, yeah. That one's alright, as long as we can turn that headland up I'll be okay. Might be a bit of a challenge, but I think it's doable. But, looks like you're up to the plough for a bit. Well guys, I don't know what you reckon, but I reckon that's coming up alright. Looking not bad at all. Good big deep furrows. Yeah, headland's a bit ugly, but it's not too bad. That one down there. For the most part we're turning her uphill. Obviously with this job, not necessarily obviously, you can't, once you start, you're sort of stuck in the pattern that you've started on. So the whole idea of what we're doing is to avoid spraying off. We've got two options that we can do when it comes to winter crop establishment. We can plough or we can go in between, but we can direct drill. So in between would be spray it off and disc it up or rip it up or just pair harrow it just like that. Yeah, direct drill, obviously just spray it off and no-till drill straight into it. That is the cure for no-till right there. I say that tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, so the idea here is we're literally picking up the soil, flipping it right over, and we're burying that grass down underneath. You might have seen the other paddock just over there. All that's had done is ploughed and then rolled with a set of chain harrows, dragging behind. Pretty low impact thing, and that just helps to push these furrows back down in that last little bit. And that gives it a real good seal off and kills all the grass. You'll notice just down here, I have a brake fence up along there for the hoggets. You can see that line, not my plough line, the one above it. As I hit down there, up there it's really crumbly, and as I hit that line, you can actually see the line just barely in the furrow there. It changes to them holding together like this. Now I don't know whether that's something to do with the way, or it has to be something to do with the way it's been grazed. That brake got really muddied up a month ago, I suppose. I know, you wouldn't believe it today, but it did. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. This brake never got that. There's quite a bit of grass here still that we're burying, especially on that brake. But it's doing a pretty good job. Reasonably good. Yeah, good old girl. So anyway, what we're doing here is we're trying to avoid spraying. I prefer planting seeds into cultivated soil. I think the seeds prefer it. And yeah, this is the way we achieve that. Some people would spray off and plough. Look, I'm not going to criticise what other people do. I just don't see any point in doing that. If you can do a reasonably good, tidy job of your ploughing on good land. There's certain, I shouldn't say good land, on easier land. We're certainly not flat here, but yeah, it's easier than a lot of guys have got. You look sort of around the hills up around here. There's some pokey ground up there, rocky ground, hard to get a plough to stay on the ground. And I can certainly appreciate why they do it. But that's our objective here. So we're going to plough it. We're going to roll it with the chain harrows in the back just to press those furrows down. Then we're going to bring the pair harrow in with a roller on the back of it. And so it's got its own roller. We tow a Cambridge roller behind it. And then after we've done that, it's going to get drilled, and that's it. We are going to put a bit of lime on in between. The crop ferret goes down the spout in the planters. So yeah, good times. Sorry guys, the whole reason I jumped out of the tractor was to show you what we do different to other people when it comes to ploughing. A lot of ploughing is done at a 14 to 16 inch wide furrow and sort of 4 to maybe 7 or 8 inches deep. We're running an 18, so it's a really big hole, and we're running 8 to 10 inches deep. So sort of lifted it up just coming along here because that brow of the hill here, like I was saying with the length of the plough before. But 8 to 9's where we normally run. Sometimes it still turns a nice furrow at 10. Yeah, why we do that, I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning is, but it seems to be the deeper you plough, especially on ground that hasn't been ploughed for a while. This paddock's been, I want to say 8 or 9 years since it was last cultivated. The better crop we get within reason. We get less weeds, we get higher yields, and the young grass going back in seems to be cleaner. So it's a bit of a challenge. A lot of guys when they're ploughing with a 4 furrow reversible or a 5 furrow conventional like this one would be doing a hectare an hour. I'm doing more like 0.6 or 0.8, but I've got time to piss around and do that because it's my own plough, my own tractor, my own farm. We're not really charging an hourly rate here. She's only using 10 litres an hour at the moment, which is a lot less than I thought it would be. So yeah, just if you wonder why it looks different, it doesn't look bad, it doesn't look better than the other guys, but it just looks different. That's probably why. The ground's having to move a lot further, and it does tend to crumple a bit as it does that. Breaks it up a bit, which can be a bit harder to keep the furrows turning sometimes, and the extra depth as well can be a bit of a challenge, but we just take our time and make it work. So anyway guys, I was saying before, and then I rudely interrupted myself, when you're ploughing you've got to be careful. So most other jobs, if you fail a hill climb or if you have a miss, you can just go back and fill it in. With ploughing, that's not the case. This pass you're doing has to meet the last pass, and reasonably perfectly, not completely but reasonably. So that's why sometimes, like I say, we don't like turning soil downhill, and believe me, we don't. Sometimes within a run you'll be turning soil uphill and downhill, you know, uphill at one end, downhill at the other, and as long as we're not turning it seriously downhill, or sometimes on a headland you might have to turn it downhill to just because you haven't turned the rest of the hill down. It does happen sometimes, but we aim to minimise that. So yeah, anyway, the stag's do should be a good one. Old mate's bought himself a 45-foot boat in Picton, so it's going to be fun. I'm not missing that. I really should be missing that for work, but 35 now, and I'm at the point where I've decided, bugger it, the farm can wait. If we don't get the Swedes in on the 20th, they can still go in on the 21st or 22nd or 23rd. 3 days is not going to make much of a difference, and a trip like that, hopefully, you only get to do once, right? So, I mean, there'll be plenty of trips, but yeah, you hope to only have one stag do. Yeah, so should be a good wee trip. I'll take a little bit of footage for you. It won't be much, it may just be a few seconds. It is a stag's do after all, and what happens on that stays on that. But yeah, should be a good bit of fun. He's also got a boat very similar size to me, and we do like to do a few missions. We haven't done many yet, but plans are there. We've just got to make it happen. Last summer was supposed to be great, but my boat had a few mechanical issues that took a while to get resolved. They are now, fingers crossed, resolved. It's an old boat, it's done a lot of work, but yeah, got to have some fun, right? Righto guys, we've met in the middle. We'll see in a minute. And now it gets a little bit fiddly. Plow on the ground. Looks really horrible there because the hogget's been running back and forward. It didn't turn over very nicely because this plow was not set up to plough stubble, it was set up to plough grass. There's a difference there. So, although we haven't quite met in the middle, we're about to. Wheel has fallen in, lifted up a little bit. A little bit further. It's never a pretty thing, this. Thankfully there won't be any runs where I have to do it right here on this particular job. And we're back to going again. In here. myself a lot of room on this headland, I've got to admit, but it's alright so far, it seems to have worked. Sort of not a lot of good places to clamp is there, sorry, but quick bar on the road, but you can see what's going on. Right up on the green, drop the front down. And that'll be right, the wheel's stuck in a rut. It's alright though, don't pick up the old furrow. There we go. And we're back in, and that wheel should pop up hopefully at some point. There we go. Well, that's just not clever, Grace. Hey, which way are you going to go? I don't think you can work out to go back that way. I don't think you can. Back up. Come on, back you go. Yeah. Backwards, backwards, backwards. There you go. Hey, rest your funnel on. And then turn around and go straight back out, please. Come on. There we go. We'll solve that issue. Should be enough. Hey, 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 don't be doing that. Right. Cheeky cattle have got to go in the yards next. Come on, hoagies. Oh, you know where you're going, do you? Hope so. They sure do. They're away. Oh well, we'll just sit here and wait. Right, nice light fill up, not too many sheep. Always nice when you've got a yard, city yards that'll handle, I don't know, 1900 sheep, 1900, and then you've got to stick 600 in. It takes a lot of pressure off, but that said, we've got to empty them out outside today anyway, so they won't make a mess in here, and the wool should stay as clean as it is. It's not real clean, because it's been a very wet spring, as a lot of you have seen, but yes, they are quite muddy, like dirty, like, yeah, crutching them. Your gear wouldn't last them very long because it's just the grit in the wool just destroys your gear, but we got it done, and now they're going to get shorn. Well, there they go in the yards. Right guys, I think we'll leave that there, and yeah, I'm going to show you a little photo of what happened last night, and you may want to tune in next time.